Morality also has another measure, which is the tendency to live for oneself or for others. If we live too much for ourselves, we are less moral. If we live a lot for others, we are moral people. However, selfishness is a natural instinct of all living beings. Everyone only wants to do what benefits themselves first. We worry about eating enough and dressing warmly first, then think about others afterward. If left to nature without education, the selfish instinct automatically controls our behavior and thoughts into an immoral way of life. Only with education, only with the awakening of wisdom, can we resist the tendency of selfishness to know how to live selflessly. The father pretended to drink a glass of wine and talked about various things to wait for his children to eat their fill and leave some leftovers before he ate. The money he had saved was intended to buy a new motorbike, but he decided to use it to help neighbors who were in disaster and hardship. The working hours were over. It was time for the party. But the poor old man had been waiting all this time, so I stayed a long time to handle his paperwork so he wouldn't have to come back the next day. I had just taken a bite when I saw a skinny dog staring intently at the piece of bread. Knowing it was very hungry, I let it have it all. Meeting 3 times in a row, my friend wore only that one shirt, so I took out the new shirt I had bought from my bag and gave it to him. This year is the graduation exam, but my friend still can't solve these difficult math problems, so I decided to spend a month tutoring him to see how it goes. At first, changing from a self-centered lifestyle to an other-centered one is very difficult. But when the other-centered lifestyle becomes a natural habit, one discovers that happiness is right there. A selfish lifestyle gives us a sense of trivial pleasure. Meanwhile, an altruistic lifestyle brings us noble happiness. We honor someone as a saint precisely because that person has an extremely altruistic way of living. All religions canonize individuals based on the standard of their altruistic life. Born into this world, we have the right to enjoy certain benefits and some joys. But if we are people of virtue, we will prefer to contribute more than to enjoy. We prefer to work in service rather than to consume and use. However, completely refusing to enjoy anything is also extreme. We will not be able to work if we do not eat enough. We will not be able to give alms if we have no money at all. Therefore, if it is for oneself in order to be for others, then it is still morality. But if it is only for oneself and nothing else, then it is not moral. A father must eat enough to be able to plow the fields and grow rice to feed the family. An entrepreneur tries to save every penny so the business can survive, and employees have stable jobs. The government must strictly check tax payments to have a budget to pay civil servants' salaries. Senior leaders must ride in armored cars to stay alive and lead the country. The captain has to leave the co-pilot who fainted to focus on controlling the plane and finding a safe place to land. Expressions that seem like because of myself, but are actually because of others, are still morality. To develop the noble altruistic tendency, we must love and admire the altruistic saints. We must also sincerely vow to live altruistically. We skillfully encourage everyone to live altruistically. Do not blame those who live selfishly. Just try to find ways to advise them.